Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. We're going to take a look right there at our Oregon Coast Cam. There's Chinook Winds. That is in Lincoln City, and I got to say, it's looking pretty good out there. So lucky for everybody who's been able to get out there and get into that nice weather. But we are here with you right now, and thank you for joining us. We live stream here every weekday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, and we cover such a wide range of topics that I really appreciate everybody who can join the conversations we get to have. We're on our website, our apps, and of course on Facebook and YouTube. So wherever you're finding us, thanks for doing so. Right now, we are going to talk about Portland music, and in particular, the alt-country music scene. If you've been around Portland for any amount of time, you've probably come to know that it's actually a really huge scene here. And we have two people who are in one of the most prominent bands in that entire scene joining us right now to talk about that and their new album. We've got joining us from Don't and The Spurs, we have Kelly Halliburton and Jenny Don't. So coincidentally enough, both right here with us. Thank you to both of you, for joining us here today. Really appreciate it. And we want to talk about the new album. We want to talk about touring and everything. But I think, just to start off, Jenny, maybe you can go first. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe how the band got formed.
I moved to Portland in 2008 from Bellingham, Washington. With the intent to come here and try and start a band and play music because it just has a great history of being a good music town. And I pretty soon after moving here met Kelly, who was playing in the band Pierced Arrows at the time, drumming. And I connected with the late Sam Henry, who was the original drummer for the Wipers. And we just, we all really connected, and one thing led to another. And I've been playing music in Portland since then. And Kelly and I are a married couple, and we started Don't and The Spurs in about 2011.
Yeah, late 2011, early 2012, something like that.
And it was just it started out initially as a project for him and I to play music together in between our tours with other bands. And it just really picked up steam, and it's something that we've really enjoyed doing. And now that's our primary project, and we put, all of our efforts and work into the Spurs, and we just get to travel and be together and play music doing what we love.
That's kind of the dream right there. I mean, that's
yeah.
Perfect. Well, you mentioned, you moved to Portland with the intent of starting a band. So what was it about the Portland music scene that drew you here and keeps you here as well?
It's just really, it's really cohesive, even though there's a vast amount of genres happening in Portland. It's a really cool scene where everyone's really supportive, and you can have members, going. You have a better way of describing it, but
I'll jump in and I just want to establish.
I don't want to ramble here.
I just want to establish that we did not move to Portland as a band. I was born here, so there is a strict native element to the band. We're not, one of these bands that moved to Portland.
Oh, just me. I'm the transplant.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it.
Jenny moved to Portland.
But like I was saying, though, talking about the genres and different people, you could have people from the punk scene coming to a Western show and vice versa. And even with these guys, everyone that started with the Spurs was primarily like punk rockers. I was like, hey, I have this Western project, an idea that I'd like to do. Do you guys want to do it with me? And there was no, maybe slight hesitation, but nothing that would prevent anybody from wanting to do that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover between the different music scenes in Portland, which is one of the things that makes Portland a pretty special place to play music. There's not a lot of strict sort of delineation between like punk rock and country and all these things. It's all music, and a lot of the bands share venues and share members and things like that, and it's great. And that's one of the things that makes this such a great place to play music. We never wanted to be one of these bands that moves to LA or Nashville or something to to enhance our career or something, because we've got everything right here.
And we were saying, I think Portland has a good well of talented musicians because this is a city that has a lot of basements and it's rainy, so there's not a lot to do besides practice your craft in your basement.
That's a fair point as well. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think the point you just brought up there too, just about that, crossing over of different genres and that. But yeah, somebody could go see a country show, go see a punk show, and it doesn't really, there isn't that real delineation, I guess, of what you were mentioning there. So, I mean, to that extent, why do you think that is? Why do you think that genre crossover is so prevalent in Portland?
It's hard to say, but I think that if you start from a baseline of just purely enjoying music and purely loving the culture of music and the expression, it's a lot of these sort of genre limitations become kind of irrelevant. They're, of course everyone's got their personal tastes, and there's styles of music that they enjoy some more than others, but I think if you just truly love music as a platform and as a means of expression, you're not going to be quite as rigidly stuck in one particular musical rut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great description. No, that was great. Well, let's talk about, so that we've got the scene in general there, but talking about Jenny, Don't and The Spurs, you formed the band so you could start playing together outside of your other projects, but clearly it's taken off. I mean, you mentioned touring, and you have toured all over the place. So looking at that journey to that, what is that experience like going out and touring like internationally and all over the country and bringing the sound that you created here to those other places?
Well, we're kind of built for the road. I've been touring most of my life at this point. I started touring pretty heavily when I was, around 20 years old with punk rock bands, and I toured internationally. You're either made for it or you're not.
Yeah, when we first started dating, that's what initially just like jumped in the van with him and Fred and Tootie Cole, and they're out for months at a time, and that's a really good testament on if you're going to have a good relationship based around traveling. I loved it. I thought it was great. They really did a good job of teaching me how it's done, and no days off, and just having a good time. Not always having a good time, but every day is different, and overall it's pretty cool. And
that's kind of the style of music or touring that I was used to, because my bandmates, as Jenny mentioned, Fred and Tootie Cole, to any listeners who aren't familiar with who those people are, they were the primary members of bands like Dead Moon and the Rats, and later with me, Pierced Arrows, just Portland garage rock royalty. They help essentially build the Portland music scene into what it is today. And they were a married couple, and they were very inspirational to us, as well as people all over the world. We can go to everywhere in the world we go, there's someone there wearing a Dead Moon shirt, mm-hmm. has a Dead Moon tattoo or something.
Yeah, and they were just also really big on, supporting people doing their art, which I think has translated into what we were talking about before of people in Portland being supportive, that you're just out there putting yourself out there, whatever it might be doing. But so it's really fun though, seeing that and like making those connections when you go to another country, and just giving it a shot. You never know. Maybe you're going to go somewhere and people aren't into it, but better try it than not do it at all. And for the most part, we've experienced that people are really excited. And, we like to hang out with everyone after the show, and you just meet people. And then when you get to go back, you have connections and you get to revisit that, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's got to be, a great perk to it too. As you mentioned, just meeting everybody. I do picture that somebody coming up, in the middle of Belgium with a Dead Moon, T-shirt on or something like that, bringing it all back together to the Portland, base. Let's talk about the new album though, and the new recordings that you have. So can you tell us just about that and what you're going to be doing with that?
Yes, the new album, Broken Hearted Blue, comes out June 14th. We're really excited about it. We recorded with Colin Hegna, who's in the band Federale, and also Brian Jonestown's Massacre. And he has Revolver Studios where we recorded, and it was a really, really fun experience working with him. I think he did a really good job of capturing our, sometimes it's hard to translate your energy from a live show to a recording. But his space and the way he works, it was really good at like getting the best out of us that we could do in that setting. And he also did a really good job of keeping all the instrumentation open so you can hear everything. And I don't know.
So yeah, it was a great experience for us. It was sort of it was almost a cathartic experience as well, because it was the first real recording session that we've done since the passing of our longtime drummer Sam Henry. You know, we kind of put off going into the studio and doing this follow-up album for a while, but you know, when the time came last fall, we figured we were ready for it. So yeah, Colin really helped us through that process. And
yeah, it's our first full length with Buddy Weeks on drums, and he's just a cool, you know, it's rocking. He did a great job. And
yeah, we're really excited to you know, just get it out there and start touring on it, because you know that's what we do. We tour, and as soon as it's out, we're gonna hit the road and be on the road for most of the latter half of this year.
Yeah, and this is the follow-up to our last album that we did with Fluff and Gravy Records called Fire on the Ridge. So we continued to work with Fluff and Gravy on this one as well. And yeah, Christopher March's guitar is really great. He had a lot of opportunities to get all his leads in there and everything. So I think, you know, when people hear it, it sounds like us, but it's just a new rendition. So
That's great though. I mean, and for anybody who doesn't know, Sam Henry, very beloved member of the music community, just Portland in general. Everybody can look Sam up. So for this, you know, this album, you know, you're going to be out touring. You've got this new one. Let me ask you this: for anybody who hasn't come to a Jenny Don't and the Spurs show, what can someone expect when they show up at a Jenny Don't show and the Spurs? What can they feel when they walk in the door?
welcomed, for one. No, I think to have a good time. Like, we're there to try and have fun and have a good experience with everybody, dancing. Everybody dresses up. You know, you can. It's a safe space to wear cowboy boots if you want to.
Yeah, we kind of like to make it an event. I guess we like to, I don't know, inject a little bit of the punk rock energy into.
Yeah. High octane Western.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love that description. High octane Western. That's perfect right there. Well, anything else that you want to let people know? Just, for people who maybe haven't come out to this kind of scene, or maybe haven't been going out to music and seeing all of these amazing bands like yourself here in Portland, what would you say to encourage someone to go out and check out a band maybe they haven't seen before?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would just say, even if it's something that might not be a genre that you necessarily find appealing to you, give it a shot, because you never know. There's a lot of people that come to the shows and say, oh, wow, this isn't what I expected it to be. And
usually in a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd say just give it a chance. And that goes for any kind of, any bands playing. There's a lot of good bands playing in support too. So I think you're just guaranteed to have a little bit of fun somehow.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. And clearly, you're having fun doing this and touring and bringing this music to everybody. And congrats on the new album. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
For everybody out there who wants to go find this, listen to this, or go see you, maybe they're on the road, wherever it is that you're going to end up, what's the best place for them to go and follow what you do?
We're on all the social media. We just uploaded the album. It went live yesterday for our first single, which is called Pain in My Heart. And you can stream it on all of your favorite platforms. And we have a Jenny Don't and The Spurs.com website, and all the links are there. And if anybody from Australia is listening right now, we also set up a web store in Australia. So anybody in the Southern Hemisphere can order from there and avoid these crazy shipping costs that we have if you order it from the States. So we're trying to make it as easy to get as possible. So if you look us up, you won't miss.
Yeah, we do have some live appearances coming up in the Northwest. So we'll be kind of in and out of town. We're going to be doing a tour kickoff show in May. That's all. That date's on our website, and we're really excited. We're going to play Topaz Farms on Sovey Island in what is that, July? Yeah,
July 25th. And then we're going out to Trout Lake to play the Trout Lake Hall in April on the 18th. So
we've got some local stuff coming up.
Yeah, some local stuff. Also
Fisherman's
cool
Village
places
Fest.
to play. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly and Jenny, thank you very much, for joining me here today just to talk about this and, and your experiences here and sharing that with everybody. And congrats on the new album and the tour. Everybody can go there. Just look up Jenny, Don't and The Spurs. They'll find you and find where you're at and check out all the music. And thanks for being here on Fox 12 Now with us.
Yeah, thanks for taking time to
Thanks for having us.
support music too. That's cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. You guys have a good day. And,
You too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. And for everybody who's watching too, again, this is Fox 12 Now. So we live stream here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. We cover a wide range of topics, but things like this, learning about the Portland alt country scene, in case you didn't know, and the Portland music scene in general. Jenny, Don't and The Spurs, great interview there. Coming up at 1:30 p.m., we're going to switch gears completely. There is a new community radio station that has been started for day laborers. So that's what they're targeting for that, who they're going to be talking to. It's to support them. So we're going to find out more about that coming up here at 1:30 p.m. So whatever platform you're watching on, whether that's Facebook or YouTube, the website or the apps, those are all great ones. I do recommend downloading the Fox 12 Oregon app, though. That is a good way to catch all of the things that we do and also everything else that we have going on here as well. So thanks for joining us. We'll take a pause. I'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.